After another year of high inflation and interest rate hikes, most people are financially exhausted. It's no surprise that saving more money is a top resolution among Americans heading into 2024, but getting your finances back on track takes a little planning, all right? President and CEO Cathy DeWitt Dunn from DeWitt Dunn Financial Services joins us with some tips and maybe some tricks to actually setting your financial goals for 2024. Cathy, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Glad to have you there. Always love your glasses as well.
Oh, thank you.
All right. We're talking about financial goals for 2024. How do we focus on our finances?
Well, I think the biggest thing is when we take a look at New Year's resolutions, it's always about, being physically fit and mentally fit, but we need to become financially fit because that's going to impact our entire life. So what we need to do is really focus in on that. And 77% of Americans right now aren't really feeling good about their finances. So maybe we should start with the savings plan. That would be great for 2024. And you could just start small, but we need to have separate accounts. We need to make sure we're putting money away for our retirement, college savings, emergency funds. But we really need to focus in on making sure that we have some emergency money just in case something happens.
All right, so that's your first tip and trick. Make sure you have that savings plan and stick to it if you can. What's another tip that you have, Cathy?
Avoid borrowing money. So 2024 is the most expensive year for us if we're going to borrow money because of interest rate hikes. So we want to make sure that we limit our spending habits probably to just cash. A lot of people feel very comfortable doing that versus using credit cards. And if we have a lot of credit card debt, we need to pay that off because it's just ridiculous, some of the rates that we're seeing up to 30%. So maybe you could take a look at the avalanche method, which is the method pay off your highest interest rate credit cards first, or snowball. Maybe it's the smaller balances, but what we have to do is we've got to focus in on getting rid of that debt so we can feel good about ourselves.
All right, Cathy, I'm following you, so I'm going to make sure my savings plan is ready to go. I won't borrow any money at all. Do you have another tip?
Yes, and also we need to boost our financial literacy. There's so many people out there that aren't really familiar with, their finances or what they need to do. Maybe you should, download a podcast. You could also go to my website at DeWittandDunn.com. There's a lot of great sources, but let's improve our financial literacy in 2024 so we can be empowered to do some different things for our finances and get back on track. So we really need to make sure we stick with our resolutions for 2024 so we can be successful.
Now, how do we stick to that, Cathy? It can be hard. It can be really hard.
It's really hard for a lot of people. As we know, New Year's resolutions, they come and they go. But for me and for my clients, write it down, whether or not it's on a pad of paper or if it's in your phone, you need a big poster, whatever it is. If you write it down, you're going to be more successful. You're going to hold yourself accountable, and then you could check in with yourself to see where you're at. And maybe get an accountability partner. Maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a friend. But just sit down, take a look at where you're at, where you're going, and make sure that, if something happens, you can always get right back on. But if you have it written down, you know that you're going to make sure that you stay with your plan. All
right, Cathy, great insight. Thank you so much for joining us here on Daybreak.
Yes, and Happy New Year to everybody. And if once again, if you have any questions, you can go to my website at DeWittandDunn.com, and we'd be happy to help you.
Perfect. And thank you so much for the insight and some great resolutions there as well.